McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theater.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What up with it, my wealthy people? It's your boy, David Bellard. You already know the vibes. Founder, CEO, Black Wealth Renaissance. Here with my brother from another, Jalen. What's good with you?
What's poppin'? It's your boy, Jalen, man. I'm feeling great. Feeling black-tastic. Looking better. I can't even complain.
You look all right, nigga. You got them glasses on. You
Don't
think you cool or whatever. You wearing sunshades
You
on
just
the
want
pod
to be like,
today.
yeah, bro. You know, you ain't gotta hate, man. Get that hate out your heart.
I
nigga.
ain't hating, man. I'm just talking, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I got the shades on. I might be feeling shady today.
Yeah.
Tread lightly, nigga.
Tread lightly my ass, man. But look, y'all already know, man. We chilling. It's already a great day. We've been podding, and we want to give y'all another installment of the show. Been a mean minute since we gave y'all one of these. Just kind of, it's a lot going on right now. So we want to take some time to talk through what's happening, and Jalen and I are going to share our perspectives on some things and really just talk about a few different things and issues that affect the black community. Yeah. So, Jalen, I know you had a topic initially.
Oh, yeah.
That is number one on the list. That's where you want to start? Where you want to start this joint,
I probably
man?
wouldn't want to start with that one right now. I think I want to start, let's see. Honestly, I think I do know where I want to start. I want to start with the gamification of gambling, dog.
Okay. All right. That's a good place to start,
so
especially around now. So, context, this is pre-Super Bowl. We at the time of recording. This will get released. Probably be post-Super Bowl. But that is something that is a good topic because we've definitely seen that happen. I say probably since the pandemic? I would say because the rise of DraftKings was really during the 2019 pandemic era.
Then they really, really took off in like 2020. Because I remember we went to Colorado and they were plastered everywhere. So it's whenever a lot of the states started being more relaxed on the online gambling, online sports books and betting and stuff like that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the gamification of sports betting, right? Mm-hmm. So we already seen it with the stock market with stuff like Robinhood and all that. We seen people get into stocks and kind of trade, and it seemed like people starting to fall off that trend, right? We used to see a lot more people talking about options and things of that nature during
crypto and all of the what else was the big one?
NFTs.
Not NFTs, Forex. I couldn't get Forex out of my mind.
Got you. We seen people like that was where we were, right? Mm-hmm. That everybody was, I'm going to get rich, trading options. And somehow, somewhere along the way, that shit became sports betting.
Yeah.
And now it's like sports betting is the new options for a lot of people. And to me, I think that's problematic because it's so much more risky to think that you're actually like I guess it's not as bad to me because you're not actually investing, right? So you're not investing with a gambler's mindset, but you're just gambling now.
You're saying that's not as bad?
Like I think it's problematic because you went from thinking you were.
Some people do think of that as investing for them.
You went from investing in stocks to now you're investing in athletes And to me, that's crazy because now you're gambling. You went from gambling in the stock market
to full on
just
gambling.
full on gambling.
Yeah.
Man, I sure hope this dude get them yards tonight. And I see like a lot of it's become very prevalent in culture now. Like so many things about parlays and all them little jokes like that. Around Christmas time, I seen people talking like, man, my kids just don't know. They Christmas relying on this 25 leg parlay. It's like it's kind of crazy that niggas is thinking that this is gonna be the way out. Stop trying to get rich quick.
So with that, like, I even think about the ease of it, right? Like, one, the over and under is so easy to play, and then you got Prize Picks now, who's doing this thing called Demon Time, where if you pick a certain play, you can 10x like your winnings. Yeah, if you do a Demon Time play and you hit on that, you can not 10x. I'm sorry, you can 100x your winnings. So like you might do $100, but you just 100x it, like you hit it Big Willie style, right? But at the same time, it's
what's the probability of you hitting that 100x?
It's a very risky, like the Demon Time one is a very risky bet. Like that's the whole thing of it. It's like that's why it's 100x. At the end of the day, house is always gonna win. Facts. They always gonna cover their ass. Like unless somebody hack their shit and like do a bank run on like these sports betting, sport books, these casinos, like they're always gonna win.
Yeah.
So a lot of people they're putting their money in. A lot of people are doing these things and they're just gambling. And I look at it back to when we were kids. Us growing up in Louisiana, there's a casino every fucking where that you go. But how many billboards would you pass as a child where it would be like, gambling problem, call this number. Gambling problem, call this number, right? What type of repercussions is this going to have on people in the next few years? Like, how many people do we think will become addicted to gambling through this way?
How many people you think addicted right now? I think a lot.
I believe it is a lot.
Like a lot of the people who, like, they learned about options, and whenever everybody had to sit down, it was all in the house. It was on internet. They learned about options, tried their hand at it. Like, this shit hard. I got to learn a lot. There's this learning curve. What the hell is an alpha? What the hell is a delta? What do you mean RSI gamma, and all this? Yeah, what's all this? What's all the information? This too complicated. I done lost my money. Let me find something else to do. Oh, Prize Picks. You mean to tell me I give you $100? You will give me? All I gotta match me $100?
All I gotta say is Patrick Mahomes is gonna go over 150 yards.
I understand that.
All I gotta do is say Steph Curry is gonna make above a 50% shooting. Is like you said, it's very easy for them to understand because people watch sports. A lot of people engulf themselves in sports. A lot of people, their sports team is their identity. So it's like it's easier for them to really become a part of that, but also get lost in the gambling side of these things.
Because that's also the part, like you talked about gamification, right? And that's really what they've made it really seem like. It's like a game. Like I was just saying, you put $5 in. I think that's the promotion they're running at this time, right? You put $5 in, they'll put up to $50 in your account. So that seems like play money. It's house money.
Yeah.
So in your head, I didn't really put nothing in here. But what they say? The first hit always free, right? You get your first little taste. Don't let you hit a little something.
Get them hooked.
You won $20 off of $5.
Or even the lady.
Now you're trying to upsize your bet.
Even that lady I sent you on Instagram, bro. The lady, she bet her last $22 on that slot machine. Ended up winning $15,000.
Yeah, and like everybody happy for
her.
And
like,
I'm over here like, bitch, baby, you crazy.
What is you doing? Like, you just took your last $20. Like, what if you wouldn't have hit? Now you ain't got shit. And your last resort was to go play the slots with your last $20.
Shout out to her though. Hey, I was looking out for her. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, shawty. Hey, I'm happy you won.
Me, I'll tell you that much.
I'm pretty sure she said the dude name who pushed the button was Raul. I remember Raul pushed the button.
Oh, what?
That's what she was saying the whole time she won. I'm pretty sure I didn't see it. She was like, yeah. Somebody in the comment was like, yeah, you got to give Raul half of it now because he the reason you won. I'm like, why is that the sentiment?
Why he got to get half?
Yeah, that like the whole thing around gambling. Like there is people like if they're on the crap table, maybe somebody will be like, "Oh, you my good luck charm. You blowing on the dice for me or whatever," and I hit like I'm going to bless you just for being right here type shit. But half of $15,000.
So I don't get gambler culture. I ain't gonna lie. I'm as a black man, I'm fully divested from gamble and lottery culture. I think it's a terrible waste of capital. You could deploy your capital much better if you're a patient person who's willing to invest. Why can't you dollar cost average instead of buying 3 or 4 lottery tickets a week? It makes valid sense, right? If you talk about it over time, if I'm 20 years old, I start buying lottery tickets. That same money I used, if I take my mindset from that of a gambler to that of an investor, I can likely grow that $5, $10, $15 a week to $20, $30, $40,000 by the time I'm 40 or 50. And that's small shifts in behavior. That's the biggest thing I think about it. It's just a dangerous game we're playing with it. I don't think, and if you a sports bettor, that's on you. I ain't saying you can't make no money. I don't say it don't make money. But it's a dangerous place to put yourself where you're relying on gambling to be your source of income.
That's a fact.
Gambling should never be a source of security because you're taking way too much risk for that reward.
And also with the gambling, I don't know if you saw it with the LSU player, the former LSU player. He currently plays for the New England Patriots. He is believed to have placed more than 8,900 bets illegally.
Wait, what's illegal about him placing bets?
Because he wasn't. I don't think he was doing it under his name. He was doing it from a different device.
Okay.
Under a whole different name because he was placing bets on himself as well.
Okay.
He placed 17.
What's illegal about that?
Now that part, I don't know.
I guess if it's
and plus, I don't know if he was even at a legal age to actually do the bet. Because you got to be 21 to bet, right? I'm pretty sure it's 21 to get in the casinos and bet. Because they give free alcohol in there and everything like that.
True.
So I'm pretty sure it's got to be 21 to be in these casinos. I don't know the legal age for betting, and the Wi-Fi is not working. So hold on, if you could look that up. But of the 8,900 bets, 17 were on college football games, and 6 of those were on LSU for whenever he played. He allegedly placed a wager on September 4th, 2022, in a game between LSU and Florida State. He was betting that he would score at least 1 touchdown, and he placed another bet that he would have over 82.5 receiving yards.
Oh yeah, see, that's bullshit. I can't get mad at that bet. So you mean to tell me I'm getting fined for betting on myself? That sounds like if I lose my money because I didn't do what I said I could do, that's on me.
Or what if you had a pack with the quarterback like, hey, look, bro, don't look at nobody else. Just light me up the whole night.
Bro.
And
you're not about to lose the game for friggin' $2,000-$3,000, bro.
What if they didn't bet $2,000-$3,000? You know, NIL was it. What if? Hey, look, we putting such and such on here. We about to go crazy.
You're talking about LSU. This is Louisiana State University. They haven't had a season where they won less than 10 games, I'm sure, this century. Them niggas not throwing no football games for one little sports bet. And he did. I could understand the logic if it was he was betting under.
Yeah.
And then I was purposely performing less. That's problematic.
Yeah.
There's a conflict of interest.
Like where you're throwing the game and stuff like that.
But like, again, I don't agree with betting at all. So I think it was stupid that he did it in the first place. But if I'm gonna bet and I bet on myself, it's kind of like the situation. I guess the precedent for that would be Buddy with baseball. You're a baseball guy. What was his name? Pete Rose. Wasn't he the one that got? There's a baseball player that was banned from the MLB for betting on himself. And I think that was Pete Rose.
I remember all of them niggas in the history and shit. I don't remember the cool shit.
Fake ass baseball fan, man.
Hey man, call it what you want to. It is what it is. I remember that dude throwing the pitch and blowing up a bird. I can look it up though. But yeah, where were you getting with that?
Getting into the fact that what were we talking about again?
The guy being suspended due to betting.
Yeah, no, I was just saying like that president there, like that was in the professional sports. That's the only other time I could think about athlete betting on themselves. And that was the outcome. He was banned from the sports league. So, I mean, they're not doing nothing different than what would have been the standard set already. But do I think it makes sense? Nah, not really.
Gotcha. I mean, I can't argue that point either. Like, I could see if he was doing unders, like, oh, I'm not going to score a touchdown or nothing like that.
Like, I'm going to get less than 50 yards. Or I'm going to have, or if you're going over on drops or something like that, like now you have a case to say, oh, you were intentionally doing some things. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think, me personally, I don't think he should get in trouble. Like, hey, man, everybody bet on yourself. He literally bet on himself.
I'm saying. They say the best investment you can make is in yourself. He was just betting on himself.
They don't say nothing whenever these damn politicians be betting with inside traders.
They ain't say nothing about Nancy Pelosi.
I'm telling you.
Hey, y'all want to make some money this year? Follow Nancy, man. Nancy know where the money going. Nvidia last year? Did you invest in Nvidia last year?
I don't think so. I just kept my other
DCA.
I'm still good, so I'm straight.
I'm just saying.
I'm up 50%. I'm good.
No, I'm talking about like with Nvidia. Just talking about Nancy and the moves. Last year Nvidia was up like 330.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. I just can't cry over smell milk. Inside I'm hurt, but I'm telling myself I'm good. Speaking of that though, that's another topic that I had in here was Nvidia, Microsoft, Google all partner with U.S. government on AI research program. And your girl, Nancy Pelosi.
Look at it in the picture.
Nancy Pelosi has bought millions in Nvidia and owns millions of Microsoft and Google.
What I just said. Follow the money. Listen to Nancy, man. I'm telling you.
But I'm saying like he got in trouble for betting on himself, but she gets all of this privy information, and we know she's doing all of these stock tradings. This shit been coming out for years that she trades, and she don't get in no fucking type of no trouble, no nothing. So what is the difference?
The insider trading rules are crazy. I'll tell you what's the difference. Arena. The difference is nothing but the arena. You are an athlete. She is a politician. Power. You have none. The NCAA has all the power. The NFL has all the power. She, as a politician, has the autonomy and ability to do that and the money. Because you also got, now I think Nancy Pelosi worth like 330 M's. Yeah. Yeah, look it up.
Fuck Nancy.
Yeah, like Nancy's rich. But she has influence that he won't have. So I don't think it's an apples to apples comparison. But do I think it's like right that politicians can use insider trading shit? I'm not here to argue about right. I just use the information to myself. Any government official that's making a big transaction or trade like that, they have to report it. This is all public information. I think it's within 3 months of the trade being made that they have to report it, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah, like they have to file all this shit with the SEC. If you're a public official, if you're anytime you're a person who owns more than 10% stake in a publicly traded company, anytime you make a transaction like that, you have to disclose this information to the SEC. Now, it is a lagging report type of way, but there's still some type of reporting there. There isn't a reporting standard for taking bets on yourself if we're still looking at them two as a comparison.
That's a fact. I guess because it's so new and, they still trying to get everything. I don't know what's going to come of the story, but,
also, let me ask you this. When have you ever seen regulations regulate regulators?
Yeah, that's a bar.
It's very rare. They very, very rarely change the rules to stack it outside of their favor. It's kind of the same thing with the sports betting companies. It's house rules, baby.
Cash rules everything around me. Get the money. Y'all don't let these people play in your face. We can go to the next topic, my brother.
Man, you want to go to the one that was at the top of the list, man? Because I think like one difference between Nancy and the young man is she's a white woman and he's a black man. And I know one of the topics we could go to
that.
You had an experience at home, right?
Yeah. So my great uncle, he ended up passing recently, and I went back home for his funeral, and I ended up seeing one of my cousins, right? And he was just like, "Hey, man, I'm so happy to finally meet you. You know, me and your mom, we grew up and all of this." And then he was like, "I was one of the only dark skins growing up. It's rough for us." And then I just was like internalized. I was like, "Damn, man, we did deal with a lot of colorism growing up as kids."
Yeah, like, man, y'all was African booty scratchers as dark
nigga,
kids,
chill out,
man. I'm just being real, bro.
You just hurt my feelings,
bro. I'm not calling you that. I'm just saying this is what y'all was
African. You could have said they called. You said y'all was African
you're
booty
a dark
scratchers.
skinned man. I'm just talking like you said you dark skinned.
Anyways. Yeah, so I was internalizing that shit, right? I was just like, damn, like we really had to deal with this shit a lot as a kid.
I just flicked up your trauma.
You did kind of fuck me up. Because this is the story that I wanted to get into, right? My grandmother, she was a lighter skinned lady.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and as growing up, she would definitely be like, "Oh, baby, you got to stay out there, son. You're getting so dark. You got to do all of this." And she would put this stuff on. It was called like black and white cream, and it was like a bleaching cream.
Huh?
And she would rub it in on her face and stuff like that.
I thought she was rubbing it on you,
no,
too.
But
I said, man.
She did. She was like, if you want to use something, and at one point, I would be like, okay, let me put it on. But something, I didn't do it for long. But I had another cousin. She was dark skinned as well. And she would always put it on. But, baby, you got too much melanin in your skin.
Yeah, it ain't going.
See the color of your shirt. It ain't going to work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Like,
ain't no lighter for this one, huh?
Just hang it up. Like, just hang it up. But it made me think about some of the trauma that we deal within from our own people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the, conflicts, internal conflicts that people have. Even like my grandmother, I'm thinking like, what made her feel like she had to feel that way, or like she had to feel like she had to be more closer to white,
mm-hmm.
right?
I mean, well, we got always the usual suspects, right? The usual suspects. We looking at our community. We got slavery in our history. Mm-hmm. We got discrimination.
She was fairly old. She was born in like the 1930s.
People that were born before us, you got to think about their parents. Whenever we take on the mentality of our parents until we find our own way mm-hmm. in the world, right? So, but you still take some of the shit that your parents taught with you. I feel like a lot of that is that, right? Mm-hmm. So there are these lessons and these things that were passed down as ways of living because that was how you had to live. I know whenever my grandfather was alive, my grandfather on my dad's side, when he was a little boy, you couldn't look at a white woman walking down the street. You look in her direction, you might end up like Emmett Till. And that was a real thing. Mm-hmm. And it was okay. So I think inherently going through those types of experiences leads people to try to teach you things to protect you. And they may mean well, but it's somewhere along the line we lost the plot, right? Mm-hmm. And it became black means the darker means the lesser. And unfortunately, I still think like the world has changed a lot, but there's still a set of people that got that same thought process to this day. Like you'll look at how they treat dark-skinned women models versus the light-skinned women models.
I think of Ice Spice whenever I think about it. Like everybody's like, she's just popular because she's light-skinned.
I never heard that one.
There's definitely people on the internet who's like, the reason why she broke out and why she's got so much success, she has a fucking Super Bowl commercial. There's like, it's because she's a light-skinned woman.
I thought it was because of Munch, man. I don't listen to Ice Spice.
Me either.
I don't pay attention to her for real.
But she's got a lot of brand deals that some artists who would be like newer like her would
mm-hmm.
not be privy to.
And I mean, like, going back kind of to that thing, right?
I don't.
For the longest, right? If it ain't white, it ain't right was kind of the mentality in this country.
It's a terrible saying.
I'm just saying, like, I distinctly remember we grew up in South Louisiana. There are pockets and areas of people that still kind of adhere to that mentality. My dad told me growing up that like there was one of these fair, light skinned girls from like around Mallet. You wanted to talk to her parents would do what they call the comb test on you. It can't pass the comb through your head. You got to get the fuck out of my house.
Oh, damn. I thought you
because if your hair not
the,
straight,
the
you're
paper bag test.
Nah, I ain't never heard of paper bag test.
The paper bag test is a brown paper bag. If your skin is darker than this brown paper bag, then you can't get it.
Oh, no, I ain't heard of that one neither.
You really?
Mm-mm. Nah, I remember him telling me about the comb thing, but I say that to say, like, at one point, the traits and qualities that are associated with whiteness, which is fair skin, straight hair, these are things that black people sometimes place outsized value on, still even to this day. So I think when it comes to the whole aspect of colorism and us navigating it, I think as black people we're doing a lot better. But do dark skinned people still get a little shade? Yeah.
We give light skinned
light skinned niggas been taking L's for a minute, bro. I don't think it's been cool to be light skinned as a dude since the 90s for real.
I love all y'all.
I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about culturally, like where it was like light skin is in, you know, like when it was just like, oh,
I say early 2000s. I say early 2000s.
Yeah, not that they let y'all chocolate brothers make it, man. Just be happy for progression.
I am happy, man. I love my chocolate skin, but that was just something that had came across my mind. I was like, damn, man, it's kind of messed up some of the things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably dealt with from a grandparent or a parent growing up. So I just want y'all to know, love y'allself. Don't be hard on y'all.
Love the melanin in your skin, man. I ain't gonna lie, black is beautiful. It's amazing. I love seeing black people. I love being black. I love seeing light skin, dark skin, albino, all of them. We all one big diaspora. I love us.
Love us too, dog.
Hey there, World Builder. Hope you're enjoying the show. Let me ask you something real quick. If I were to tell you that you could get your business, brand, product, or service in front of an audience of over 200,000 actively engaged monthly listeners, how much do you think that would cost you? You're probably thinking something crazy like an arm and a leg. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. This is actually something that could be quite affordable. Here at Black Wealth Renaissance, we are offering small business owners the opportunity to promote their business, brand, product, or service in front of the Black Wealth Renaissance audience for very affordable rates. If this sounds like something that interests you, please click the link in the show notes. We have a short survey form for you to fill out where you can provide us some information about your business, and a member of our team will reach out to you regarding promotional services. Please hurry because this offer won't last long. Thank you so much for being a loyal listener of the show. Now, let's get back to these gems.
So you want to go to our next topic?
Yeah, man. What we got next, brother?
I want to talk about this election year, dog. This election year is about to be bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
When I say bullshit, y'all, I just want y'all to know, the closer it get to October, November, shit about to get real crazy.
Yeah, man.
Shit about to get real crazy.
Election years are always bullshit, but this one
I feel like
has
this
the
shit,
makings of a bigger shitstorm than normal.
Yeah, like I feel like we about to witness some real.
I don't think I've ever heard of a situation like now where people who were president or are currently actively president or were president were being left off of states' ballots.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that.
I haven't heard of that shit either. Like,
I mean, maybe we could look it up to see if it's occurred before, but I definitely never heard anybody say that happened before. So that definitely, set off a flag in my head. But
I don't know if you saw the story recently. Damn, I forgot where he is. It's a government official. He just got arrested he had a whole scheme with forged write-in ballots. So what their scheme was, and this happened during the 2020 election. So he was getting people who didn't vote. He was finding their information, forging their signatures, and casting in mail-in ballots for whichever candidates and stuff that they wanted to go with. So I don't know if you remember, but the big thing during the 2020 election was mail-in ballots, and
there was a big thing in Georgia, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this guy, I think it was like in Baltimore or something like that, but he's about to go to jail for a long time for this shit. It was over like 200,000, I think, like mail-in ballots, enough to sway some shit. So it's like this is on the cusp, and then you got like we were just talking about with the primary. Joe Biden was left off of the primary ballot in New Hampshire. And then you got Trump. States like Colorado and a few other states were like, yeah, bro, you can't run over here. We ain't even putting you on the ballot. Mm-hmm. And then I think he's still going through his legal trouble and everything.
I mean, should Donald Trump be allowed to run for president? As a person with an active investigation on him for leading a riot at the White House, my opinion would be no.
I'm saying no.
Yeah, my opinion would be no. Do I think Trump has a fair chance of winning? Hell yeah. Do I think that shit has been going downhill?
That nigga Trump, he coming out like Stone Cold Steve
Austin. That's problematic. It's problematic as shit. But I definitely feel like, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and I pay attention to politics more. But do you feel like the options keep getting worse and worse?
Yes.
Like, it's always a pick between shitty and shitty. It's never like, wow, look at this president. This is going to be the one, you know? Like, even looking at a lot of the candidates, like the lady.
When the last time we had a president that even served in, like, the military, who was like a general or war decorated?
W, I think. No, before W. I think Bill. Bill was the last one that was involved in the military. I may be wrong.
Almost 30 years ago.
It might be before Bill, honestly.
But think about that. The president is the commander-in-chief of the military.
Yeah.
You got people who have not served.
It used to be the standard for the president to have been a veteran.
Now you got people like, oh man, The Rock should run and this person should run just because they're popular or just because, like, it doesn't make sense.
First, the whole veteran seal was broken. Then the politician seal was broken with Trump. So
yeah. No, I know Reagan. I think Reagan was the politician seal.
But then they went right back to politicians after that.
Yeah,
for years. Reagan fucked up a lot of shit, bro. Yeah. Watergate was Nixon.
No, I'm tripping.
Reagan fucked up a lot of shit with trickle-down economics and all that shit. Crack era. We all know Reagan wasn't the best president, right? But as far as this election, yeah, man, I'm not looking forward to none of this shit, to be honest. Like,
you voting, man?
I'm a vote, bro. You gotta vote, bro. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, man.
Man, look.
I can't vote for Biden though, bro.
Bro, you ain't gotta tell me who you gonna vote for. I ain't gonna tell you who I'm gonna vote for.
This nigga told me you ain't black if you don't vote for me.
Bro,
a white man can't pull my black card, dog.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Ever since that day, he said that shit on the Breakfast Club, I have been adamantly telling any black person I can to stop voting blindly.
Just because they Democratic.
Just because they're Democratic. I think as a community, we have an unnatural allegiance to the Democratic Party. It doesn't make sense. They talk a good game, but when it comes time to do the walking, all politicians are the same. I don't care what nobody say. Their policies may be a little different. I like to evaluate people on the merits of what they're saying for what I want to do. So I'm a business owner. I have some conservative viewpoints on a few things, especially when it comes to taxation. So I might agree with some of those people who I may not agree with everything on, but you're never going to find a politician you can agree on everything with. But as far as this being bullshit, man, I just...
What you think going to be like the breaking story in October? You know it's always something crazy.
Breaking story in October? I just know for sure once the election's over, they're going to let the economy fall apart.
I think it's going to be aliens.
That's going to be the distraction? Nah, this year's distraction's been celebrities, bro. It's going to be some celebrity shit.
It's going to be some crazy shit.
It's going to be some celebrity shit. It's going to be like, I don't know, like some random Bruno Mars shit. Like Bruno Mars drops an album and does coke on the stage or something. I don't know, man. It's going to be something crazy. Something
wild.
Something long enough to keep people attention for like a week or two.
Bruno Mars do coke on the stage.
I'm just saying, man. It's always something, you know.
I'll let you pick the next topic.
All right, man. So let me look at the phone. You know, I ain't got it on there. All right, so
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce.
Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theater.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery, Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Talking about, well, you mentioned something a little earlier with talking about people that they wanted to run for president. You mentioned The Rock. And you was talking about, you got a mention in here of a deal that The Rock is involved in. Come on.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, son, man. I don't know too much about that.
The Rock, so it's a two-part thing, right? First, The Rock became a board member of TKO, which is the parent company of WWE. We all know The Rock got his start as a wrestler, so now he became a board member of the company that owns WWE.
Shout out to The Rock.
So shout out to him. I'm about to find the exact number. TKO.
Speaking of The Rock, though, it don't make no sense to me how he's like in the best shape of his life in his 50s, bro. Every time I see that nigga, I be like, yo, that's crazy. Like, how you get this jacked at 50?
I don't know, man.
Think The Rock on roids, bro?
Maybe.
Absolutely. Ariel
said yes, without hesitation. It's a $30 million deal though. Now he's a board member with equity stake in TKO, right? And then on top of that, Netflix ended up doing a deal where they're going to stream WWE. I don't remember if it's exclusive or not, but now they're streaming WWE wrestling.
So another move from cable to streaming.
Yes.
So we just continuing to see a continuous in that trend. I think we all pretty much are witnessing the death of cable over time. Last year, I got my family to cut the cord finally, man. I was like, bro, y'all paying way too much for TV. They had DirecTV. They were paying like $190 a month or some shit like that. And so, like, we call up there to cancel. Man. I'm like, yo, y'all got to get off this. We'll get y'all on some streaming services. Boop, boop, boop. Cut the bill in half, right? Call up there to cancel. DirecTV like, man, look, please don't go. We'll cut y'all bill in half for 12 months if y'all just stay with us. Well, what's going to happen at the end of 12 months? Well, it's going to go back up. But if y'all just call back, we're going to put it back down again. Like, that's dumb as hell. Y'all niggas dying and this is what y'all doing. Like, but streaming is definitely continuing to see the takeover. But streaming just going to become cable again soon. Which brings up something that I saw recently, that they're trying to combine all the sports channels
Fox,
under streaming.
Disney, and
Fox, Disney, and ABC. ABC is owned by Disney. Fox, Disney.
I can't say ESPN because
ESPN is also owned by Disney.
Disney. I forgot who the other person.
But either way, they were talking about putting together a conglomerate.
Maybe TNT.
Maybe TNT.
Maybe Warner. It's Warner.
Warner. Okay.
Warner owns TNT.
There we go. I just know that like what they're talking about is combining all the sports into one streaming platform, which actually might be a good thing in my mind. Because from where we've been seeing streaming going, streaming started off as like the solution to high cable bills, which it still is in some instances. I just told you, my parents, I saved them 50% on their bill just getting off of satellite TV.
By switching to Geico.
You just threw my fucking train of thought off, man.
You're talking about streaming and rap and them bundling all of the sports programs.
But yeah, eventually streaming ended up becoming like everybody having their own service. It went from, okay, you got Netflix and Hulu, to now we got Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Fox, all these different services, and people found themselves paying the same amount for all the shit. So to me, this is a great idea because it's getting back to consolidating. And I think the more that they can consolidate within that space.
You think they just gonna start jacking up the prices again though?
Probably. Eventually. I mean, we see it already with Netflix. Netflix started off at like $8 a month? And I mean, inflation is inflation, but Netflix recently raised their prices.
I mean, but after talking to Frankie as well, though, bro, $50 million a month to store data, that shit could get expensive. I can understand.
But bro, still, they're gonna charge more eventually, is what I'm saying. Like Netflix didn't start off there. As they corner the market, they're gonna charge more.
storing all of that media and everything like that, I understand how expensive that shit can be. Like, it's going to be a point to where it's like, shit, the rubber got to meet the road, dog. Like, it costs this much just to store all of these type of shows.
Yeah,
and
that's why most streaming companies lose money.
Yes.
But they turn a profit once they're able to corner the market and start increasing prices. That's what Netflix finally made a profit. I was wrong on that. I thought Netflix was going to die. At one point during like
what was our bet?
I forgot.
Fuck. We had a bet.
Hey, you should have remembered, nigga. Tough titties.
We did it on the episode. Don't worry about it.
Tough titties, nigga. You ain't
Don't
gonna remember.
worry about it. Oh, yeah, I will.
You ain't gonna remember.
I'm gonna go find that motherfucker. It's documented. Now you gotta remember.
Whatever. Either
if
way,
you
man.
if you are a loyal listener out there, go find it. I'm gonna cut you in on that bet. I think it was some stock though.
I do think it was some stock. I'll get it for Mav, man. Don't worry about it.
You ain't gotta buy it for me. That's all I was gonna tell you. You just gotta buy him some stock. But anyways, back to what you were saying.
You know I don't be remembering that.
Well, I'll go into. I wanted to go into the deal that with WWE and Netflix. So, beginning January 2025, Netflix will be the exclusive new home of Raw in the U.S., Canada, UK, and Latin America, among other territories, with additional countries and regions to be added over time. Likewise, as a part of the agreement, Netflix will also become the home for all WWE shows and specials outside of the U.S. as available exclusively of Raw and WWE. So that's crazy. They about to literally go off of like cable broadcasting and go straight just to Netflix.
I can believe that. Because at this point, I'm sure Netflix is in most U.S. households. Whether you're a paid member or still like on somebody else's subscription.
No, they cut that shit.
But I mean, they cut it, but they ain't really cut it that bad. Like, you can still just pay.
Who you know that's getting around? Like, you gotta pay for it,
bro. To add one person is like $6.
Oh, we gotta talk. I need to figure out how you doing it.
I don't pay for Netflix. I use my little sister one.
And they not checking your IP?
No.
What the fuck?
I think it's I think it's a certain number. Maybe we need to look it up.
I did it because we on Tanae mama shit. That bitch said, nope, you gotta go back to the home.
How many other people are on it?
I don't know.
That's the question. They're limiting the amount of devices. They're not saying you can't password share no more. You just can't have your shit on like 30 devices, which is fair. They got to make money somehow. Like you just said, it costs a lot of money to store all this content. Damn. And you know, Netflix, their business model, they produce expensive content, and the only thing that drives new revenue for them is new subscriptions. Mm-hmm. Well, in advertisements now, since they've introduced that model.
Which is pretty interesting.
Because, again, we're going back to fucking cable.
Yeah.
If I pay $7.99 for Netflix and it's ad-supported, and I pay $6 for HBO Max and it's ad-supported, I just soon be on cable again.
I mean, but I think the difference between cable and that is
on demand.
Yeah, I was about to say the on-demand aspect of it. I don't mind paying for the on-demand aspect. Watch a little ad or just pay more money and you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
So I don't think that's too bad of a model, bro.
So in other news, Bitcoin ETFs have been approved by the SEC. Is that accurate? I see you got it in here.
Yeah.
When did this happen, man?
Bitcoin. That happened like 3 weeks ago.
So Bitcoin ETFs, that's been a hot button topic for a minute now. People have been talking about the SEC approving Bitcoin ETFs for I don't know how long now,
so
man.
On January 10th, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved and launched several Bitcoin ETFs. The approval order resolved the critical legal and regulatory issues entitled in launching Bitcoin.
So that's a major step for Bitcoin.
It is, but there's also some people like Goldman Sachs that were like, I don't care, we're not introducing it. And I think Vanguard as well was like, we're not going to support that product. But I think it just leaves room for the people who do believe in it. Like, they're going to be able to thrive with it.
Yeah, and whether they support it or not, somebody's going to offer it now that the SEC has approved it. And whether Vanguard and Goldman Sachs want to admit it or not, just looking at the charts, I mean, Bitcoin don't look like it's going nowhere no time soon.
Shit, back on the rally again.
That's what I'm saying. If we just look at it from a cycle standpoint, we talk about everything being cyclical, market cycles, business cycles, that this is just another cycle of crypto. Whether y'all offer it or not, by the time the next halving come up, I promise you Bitcoin will be worth more then than it is now. But that, like, the idea of a Bitcoin ETF, is it something that I believe you should invest in? Maybe if you want exposure to Bitcoin and you don't want to go through the problem or the learning hassle of, like, trying to actually go through and getting a wallet and all that shit like that. But you could also just get a Coinbase account and buy it like that.
You can buy it through Cash App.
You can buy it through Cash App. To me, it doesn't make sense to get an ETF, and this is just me. I haven't looked into the weeds of what the funds are going to be holding. Is it going to be all Bitcoin? Is it going to, because the ETF, right? It's going to be a basket of assets. Is it going to be a bunch of different crypto assets? Is it going to be
that'd be nasty.
Bitcoin and Coin? I don't know what's in there. But to me, why invest in a derivative of something that is like the S&P 500 of crypto?
That's a good comparison.
Because that's what I look at Bitcoin as. If Bitcoin is up,
I mean, but people
everything
have
S&P,
is up. There's S&P ETFs.
They do, yes. Because the S&P is 500 different companies. Bitcoin is just one thing. I say S&P not to say it's a one-to-one thing, but more so that it's like a track for the whole crypto market.
I got you.
Wherever Bitcoin is, the crypto market as a whole is probably not going to be changing differently than that. If Bitcoin is going up, everything is going up. If Bitcoin's going down, most of the other coins are going, most of the major coins. Yeah. You'll start seeing a few little shit coins go up, like a couple meme coins here and there. But in terms of like actually investing in an ETF for crypto instead of just getting the crypto, take the time, learn the steps, buy the crypto. That's how I think on it.
I can't argue. In other news with crypto as well, Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said, "Don't ask him about that shit no more."
That's not what he said.
Yep.
He did
word
not,
for word.
That man did not say, "Don't ask me about that shit no more."
Don't ask me about that shit no more.
Hey man,
he said he had enough.
Jamie Dimon been hating Bitcoin since they came out with that shit.
That nigga said, "Don't ask me about that shit no more." It was at the summit for like all of the financial people that.
What's the name of it, you know?
I forgot the name of the summit, bro. But it goes on for like 2 or 3 weeks. But they literally had
somebody at Davos?
Maybe.
The World Economic Forum?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one. You wanna move to our next one?
Jamie said, "Don't tell me about that shit no more." Well, let him not invest. I'm gonna invest, but yeah, we could move on to the next topic, brother.
Since it's Super Bowl weekend, why not kick the NFL back in?
So yeah, man, the NFL, bro,
the biggest fucking finesses ever.
Yeah, man. I think the NFL is probably the biggest finesse in American history. They really cold at it, bro.
And you want to tell them why, bro?
They're cold is because they're the highest value sports league. I think this is actual statistical proof. They're the highest value sports league, most watched game in America. They don't pay for performers for Super Bowls and things of that nature. They don't pay for their own stadiums. Those are funded by taxpayer dollars. And what was the more recent thing I learned that was paid for by people? I think I put it in the note. Let me see. Yeah, no, they that was it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The other aspect.
We were talking about the price
growth of those franchises in value,
and then we was also talking about the prices of them suites for the Super Bowl too.
Yes. So as a whole, right, the NFL is entertainment, and they get away with being a not-for-profit business.
Yes.
All professional sports leagues in America are not-for-profit businesses because to be a nonprofit, it doesn't mean you're feeding the homeless and doing all the other stuff like that. It just means that at the end of the day, your books have to show that there was not a profit. And the NFL does that. They say their purpose is entertainment, not to make a profit. And I think it's criminal that they are able to make this much money, take taxpayer dollars, and still make billions on top of billions while not offering basically anything in return to like the players outside of a salary when they play.
Don't they have like a vesting period, like where they can get paid for?
I don't think there's a pension in the NFL.
I'm pretty sure they like. I think you gotta be in it for at least 6 to 7 years. Because I know the NBA is 10 years. I think the NFL is like 6 to 7 years. But as we know, NFL their player careers are a lot shorter than
after 3 seasons they get a pension, and the pension pays them about $46K a year.
Yeah, I mean that still ain't shit. Damn NFL, y'all niggas are sad.
Yeah, but they're getting away with some of the biggest like tax breaks and stuff, and I think it's cool to see like from a business standpoint how you can take advantage of certain things.
I want to read off some of this too.
Like what you talking about
with like some of the tax breaks?
Yeah, like I mean. The biggest one is the fact that taxpayers fund the stadium. I remember whenever they were moving the Raiders, and they were talking about that, like, and the Rams. A few cities didn't want the teams because you're gonna have to raise local people's taxes.
That's why the Rams left St. Louis.
Yeah, you're gonna raise people's taxes. You're gonna you're probably gonna displace people. That's also another part of it that doesn't get talked about often. When they built the stadium in Arlington here, they had a lot of people that lived in that area that just was like, eminent domain, you got to get up out of here.
Like, you getting this, you making them pay this, and you still taking their land?
Meanwhile, you just collecting a check. The NFL owners, they probably going to go down as the greatest finesses of all time, man. You know, like the growth of NFL franchises? I don't think anything has outpaced the growth of an NFL franchise since the turn of the century. Whenever NFL team, I think the average NFL team now is valued between 8 and 10 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Just 10 years ago, those numbers were like 800 million, not even 800 million, like a few hundred million, like 300 million, 400 million. So you look at the growth over that period of time, astronomical. And they not paying taxes. Somebody got to answer for this shit.
So I found what I was looking for. So we're gonna be clear. The entire NFL is not a nonprofit. It has subsidiaries that include for-profit, such as NFL Network, as well as the 32 separate teams. And in 2012, this article is a little older. The NFL netted $9.5 billion in revenue through TV licensing, ticket sales, and merchandise. The vast majority of that money is funneled through the league's teams. The teams are subsequently responsible for paying dues to the league's office, which manages rules, oversees referees, and conducts. The league office received $326 million in dues in 2012. Trying to get to the good part. Okay, only the league office run by Goodell is considered a nonprofit. So basically, they got the teams to pay $326 million to the fucking office and got that as a nonprofit write-off.
So the teams get a tax write-off for paying the league?
I don't think the teams get a tax write-off.
If they're paying...
The network is where they're making all their money.
Mm-hmm.
Network and ticket sales, right? And they funnel it down to the teams. Teams make all the money, but the teams have to pay dues to the NFL
so
office.
They funnel it back up.
Which is a nonprofit organization.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, finesses, dog. And unlike public charities such as American Red Cross and the Salvation Army, which are considered 501c3s, the NFL is a 501c6 organization, a segment of the tax code that applies to trade associations such as the American Medical Association and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce that was created in 1942. These groups are afforded nonprofit status to support the common interests of the members of a particular industry. So, for example, support doctors across the Americas, across the country. The Chamber of Commerce advocacy collects the business interests. Membership is supposed to be open to anyone who can meet the basic requirements. But once again, with the NFL, they got a whole bunch of just shit. Like, they not having to pay none of that. And there's a few senators that came in recent years that are trying to strip them of that tax exemption, but it keep on failing. Of course, they got lobbyists and everything like that.
As long as the pocket's deep, that's one thing. We talked about that with Coach John a little bit, man. As long as the money is flowing to the politicians' pockets, all's not changing.
Not at all. But I just felt like people should know that ahead of the Super Bowl, that how much money that they get to skip out on. I know a lot of people be mad at like Amazon and all this other bullshit, but NFL is the scammers.
NFL is the greatest finesses, man.
Hell yeah.
Who you got for the Super Bowl?
I'm not betting against
Chiefs by 20.
Dog. Yeah, I'm not betting against them niggas, dog.
Chiefs by 20. That's all I'm saying. Super Bowl
betting
prediction.
against them niggas, man.
It's not going to be a good game. Not going to be close.
Hey there, travelers. Kaylee Cuoco here. Sorry to interrupt your music, great artist BT Dubs, but wouldn't you rather be there to hear it live? With Priceline, you can get out of your dreams and into your dream concert. They've got millions of travel deals to get you to that festival, gig, rave, sound bath, or sonic experience you've been dreaming of. Download the Priceline app today, and you can save up to 60% off hotels and up to 50% off flights. So don't just dream about that trip. Book it with Priceline.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
This episode is brought to you by Pluto TV. Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. That means laughter is free with gut-busting comedies like The Neighborhood, Key and Peele, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Mystery is free with countless cases to crack from Criminal Minds, Tracker, and Matlock. And thrills are free with heart-pumping hits like The Walking Dead and Defiance. Feel the free. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
And we can move to the last part, bro. Kind of want to do this for Black History Month.
Shout out to all my black people.
Yeah.
Blacktastic.
I kind of want to highlight some of the neighborhoods and thriving enclaves that go unnoticed, that were just like Black Wall Street.
Yeah, like
or
the other
even,
Black Wall Street.
Yeah,
like
even like probably even more prominent than Black Wall Street. We know of Black Wall Street, I think, because of the horrors of how that
it was a massacre.
Community was ended. There are actual bombings from the U.S. government on that saw. So I think that's why Black Wall Street gets highlighted so much. But I want to talk about some of the other communities that contributed to our history as well.
I want to preface that by saying, like, there a lot of times, like you said, we as a community think that we only had one shining light, one beacon, or one example of us working together, making money together, building businesses together, and building a community, when there were several that were, like you mentioned, some were more prominent during the time. It's just that this is the one that we remember. One of which is one of the oldest ones that I remember just off the top of my head is the Haiti community, I think is how they actually pronounced it. Which is Hayti, was in North Carolina, Durham, and it was considered the birthplace of black capitalism. It was one of the first towns where you could go. W.E. Du Bois has a quote, is like, this is the only town you can go in where if you're sick, you'll be able to see a black doctor. When you go to bed at night, you'll be able to sleep on a mattress made by a black producer in a house that's built by a black contractor that was designed by a black architect. So just to paint the illustration, is ways to get this money to circulate within us. That community was one of the first, and that was in the early 1900s. And one of the things that was
its prime was actually from 1880s to the 1940s.
Yeah, I just remember early 1900s is when they formed the actual name of the city and whatnot. And what came out of there was actually one of the longest and oldest black-owned businesses that recently closed, North Carolina Mutual Life Company. North Carolina Mutual Life was an insurance company. They started off selling industrial insurance, actually, which is, just kind of like weekly policy type stuff where it's basically burial insurance. And they were able to build this up to a conglomerate. It was, I think at the time, by like the 1920s, it was the richest black country in America.
Richest black company in America.
Yeah, richest black company in America, thank you. And they were around till 2020, man, 2022. They actually recently closed. They had a reinsurance issue. For people that don't know reinsurance. Insurance companies, all about mitigating risk. Sometimes they can't mitigate all that risk on their own, so they sign contracts with other insurance companies in case something happens, they can call up that money. Well, North Carolina Mutual probably got into one of those agreements to get extra cash flow for themselves because they're paying premiums to them. They called the policy, and they didn't have the assets to cover it. Damn. So unfortunately, that company was liquidated. But that legacy began back in the early 1900s in a community when black people had no other choice but to work together. And I just think it's important to highlight like the fact that we can create something that had that longevity. Because I don't know of any other black-owned business that was
almost
around
200 years.
Almost 200 years. I can't think of any, but outside of that. But that's just a testament to the willpower to me in my mind.
Nah, that's hard. I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are familiar with this, but Harlem, New York.
Oh yeah, Harlem.
Harlem is also considered like a black mecca. It was considered the black mecca for all of its contributions from like Langston Hughes, W.E.B. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, and so many more that came out of that mecca and that enclave. We had a lot of thought leaders. We had some of our greatest writers, like I just named.
Langston Hughes.
So that's another community that I feel like people overlook whenever we think about black enclaves that had that history. And I'm pretty sure a lot of New Yorkers, they like, nah, y'all bugging B. But whenever people always say Black Wall Street, like you got to put Harlem on that list, and you got to understand that as well. You want to go with the next one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the next one, man. The next one is actually, you talking about Black Wall Street. This one was considered the first Black Wall Street. This is Jackson Ward in Virginia. It was in Richmond, Virginia. It was another bustling community. What year was this in? It was early 19th century as well. So probably late 1800, early 20th century, late 1800, something like that. Jackson Ward was another one, just like Durham. Like it was another community where they had a bustling district, black business, people doing business together. And that community existed for, I think, like 30 or 40 years, something like that. And currently they still have remnants of it, but they built a highway through it. That is a thing.
That's normally what they do. Same thing they did with Central Park. You know why they took Central Park? Because they wanted the World's Fair to be held in that area because they thought it just looked so good. And they just eminent domain like that whole neighborhood and just cleared it out, made it like not wooded area, but the park area and all of that bullshit. I got the next one. The next one is actually a community in Washington, D.C. It's called U Street. It was known as Black Broadway. The U Street corridor was known as the epicenter for black excellence and talent at the end of the 19th century and the first half of the 20th century. U Street was home of black social, culture, and economic prosperity, despite racial and political tension in the country. Some prominent entertainers, activists, and educators come out of that community. Pioneers like Carter G. Woodson, Zora Neale Hurston. I love, I can't think of her book. Is it Eyes on the
Did she
Sky?
make a streetcar named? No, that's not her. She didn't make a streetcar named Desire.
Nah, but I remember reading that book in like 8th grade, but it was a really, really good book. I gotta go figure.
I know. I think I can't think about the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, Billie Holiday and people like that were all up there. So I just want to give that city its flowers as well. But once again, it's another neighborhood that started to decline towards the 1950s. And I hate that is the
name of the book was Their Eyes Are Watching God.
There you go. That's exactly the one.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a sad book, man.
Sad black books. All right. So moving on to the next community, another one that rarely ever hear about. I didn't know about this until very recently. The 4th Avenue District in Birmingham, Alabama. This was like, they called it Harlem of the South. It was one of the most booming districts. I want to say at the time, the city had like a 37% black population, and almost all the black businesses were located in this 5-6 square mile area. You know, like this whole strip was just, it became the center for culture. It became the center for business, entertainment. All these things happened in Jackson Ward. They said it was one of the littest places, and it actually they never tore it down or anything like that, but it was the site of the bombing in Birmingham. You remember that church that was bombed in Birmingham was in that district, and it slowly dwindled down after desegregation, because you know sometimes black folk think the white man ice a little colder, and they
yeah. You remember your dad was telling you about that, how it happened in Opelousas, how we had pretty nice neighborhoods too, and everybody wanted to start moving out to the country to be in the suburbs with the white people.
Yep, and now look at the op, aka the slop.
Just full of shit.
But moving right on
Which one
along,
was that you just did?
I did 4th Ave. So you did Greenwood already.
Actually, we didn't speak about Greenwood.
Everybody know Greenwood, man. We did speak about it.
I mean, I was just gonna save it for last. So the next one is, did you do the one in Oakland?
No, I'm not familiar with these three.
Okay. So this one is 7th Street in West Oakland. This one became a prosperous era between the time of World War II, when a lot of black African Americans moved to Oakland in masses due to war-related jobs and other opportunities. The black Americans created and owned many businesses for just like a lot of people who go to Oakland, they know the history out there. Like they're like, yeah, this was like the Black Mecca on the West Coast for us. Mm-hmm. This is where we were able to get everything. Once again, like you're saying, houses built by black people, architects designing it. You're able to just feel comfortable, and you actually had businesses that were thriving. And this
Oakland always just been for black folks.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, pretty much. And the jazz and blues scenes were prominent in that area, and that's where like Nat King Cole and B.B. King and stuff would travel whenever they would go to the West Coast.
Cool deal. So next up, we got the historic 10th Street out here in lovely Dallas, Texas. That's actually probably not far from where I live, honestly.
It's not.
It's probably like right around the corner from me. But let's see here, man. 10th Street, Dallas. You know anything about 10th Street in Dallas, man?
I don't. I read the blog that I had found on it. I'll let you talk about it, but
I don't know nothing about it, my nigga. That's why I'm asking you.
Man, you read the blog, nigga.
I'm asking you.
You want me to read the blog?
Yeah, man, you got it pulled up.
This guy here. It was situated in Oak Cliff, of course, and grew to become a prominent community soon after the Civil War because of segregation. It had more than 500 black residents that lived in the area by 1900. The strong African American presence in the district is one of the reasons the area grew and prospered. 10th Street District is home to notable figures such as blues artist Booker T-Bone Walker and Olympic gold medalist Rafar Johnson. As with Rafar Johnson?
I ain't never heard of none of these brothers.
I've never heard of
T-Bone Washington and Rafar Johnson.
T-Bone Walker.
Yeah.
T-Bone Walker. Yeah. As with other black communities in the country, the effects of demolition, construction, and integration caused many other residents to relocate, taking their culture and influence with them. With this one, though, the district was listed in the National Registry of Historic Places in 1994. So this one is listed as a historic place, and it is being preserved. They actually ended up getting a grant in 2022 to help restore some of the buildings in that district. So that's pretty good for them. But if you know Dallas, you know Oak Cliff, it has bad connotation. So I hate that a once prominent and bustling district, like many of these.
I don't think Oak Cliff has bad connotations, bro.
It's a lot of people that
they what they call like Oak Cliff ghetto or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that
what I'm
type
talking
stuff.
about. Like people always just try to down Oak Cliff and stuff like that.
I see a lot of Oak Cliff pride around here, honestly. Like a lot of
from the black people. I'm talking about like
blacks and Hispanics, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I don't talk to no white folks.
This guy here.
I'm just being honest. All right. So last but not least, man, we got the Sweet Auburn community in Atlanta, Georgia. This was known as the richest Negro street in the world. Sweet Auburn was a haven for black Atlanta residents during the Civil Rights movement, well, before the Civil Rights movement. The district's cultural and social landscape shaped the black experience in the city, and I'm pretty sure we can still feel that influence today. Atlanta has been the black hub for black people for a long time, and it seemed like that never changed. This was during his prime. It was in his prime up until seems like the 80s.
Really?
So this was one of those longer lasting type places that we have in. Yeah, it's considered one of the most endangered historic places. And in 2012 it was named a national treasure. So next time you in the A, make sure you pass through Sweet Auburn, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up. But once again, we just wanted to give those communities their flowers, highlight them through Black History Month, and kind of just think about what it could be if those were still standing, what it would look like if a lot of those communities were able to thrive and grow. Even, once again, what if it wasn't just one business, one black-owned business that was 200 years old? What if all of these communities could have sustained themselves and saw their businesses almost become 200 years old?
Yeah. It's nice to think of, man, but I think I always look at it this way, man. It's important to know our history so we know we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. Like, I mean, some of these things aren't mistakes. These are things that were outside of the control of our people. But we should take the lessons that were learned and the things that they done to build during that time could still be applicable in 2024. So I encourage everybody, if you listening to this, man, you don't know anything about any of those communities or how they got formed. Yeah, just take a second, look it up. It's important to know our history. And yeah, just take that second to value. As was the saying, knowledge of self is like the true wealth. So know yourself, man.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good way to end this thing,
man. You know what I'm saying? Well, look, family. This is David, man.
It's your boy Jalen. This was an episode just between us. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank y'all for chilling with us. We'll try to get more of these out for you guys. Once again, y'all please leave us that 5-star rating and review. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If y'all need life insurance, hit us up. We can take care of you. We can make sure that we find a product and a plan that works for you and your family, something that we can get you guys protected with. David, do you have anything else?
Man, appreciate y'all rocking with us. If y'all found value in this, like my brother said, leave us a review. If you ain't find value, tell us, man. Hey, man, don't do that bullshit no more. We don't like when y'all niggas talk. Y'all tell me, man. I want to know. But
I'm going to tell you right now, that's too damn bad.
That's too damn bad. But no, man, only thing I got for y'all, appreciate anybody caught us to the end, as always, much love, big kisses, all that stuff. But make sure y'all tap into the Black Men's Summit. Tell a brother, sister, mother, cousin, everybody. Tell them about the Black Men's Summit. This year we're celebrating brotherhood in Atlanta, cultural hub. It's going to be our 3rd year doing this. Last year was phenomenal. This year is going to be even better. This September in Atlanta, y'all want to be there. Make sure you go to blackmensummit.com or check the link in the show notes, and we'll get more information on that to you.
Can't wait to see y'all.
Can't wait to see y'all there. So, until next time, this is BWR signing out.
Peace.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.